Hello guys, hope you're really well. Been a very good couple of days. Kai Havertz is announced as an Arsenal player. Declan Rice, very close now, just finalising that deal. And for me, 50,000 subs. So thank you so much to everyone who's watched a video, who's subscribed, who's liked, who's commented. It all really helps. We've reached 50,000, so let's be ambitious. Let's aim for 100,000 now. No small feat. I'm sure you'll get me there in no time at all. Like I say, big couple of days at Arsenal. Havertz is over the line. He's announced. We've seen him in the kit. We'd seen him in the kit a few days ago, but don't worry about that. And Declan Rice inching ever closer now. The deal in principle is agreed. It's just the payment terms being sorted. So two massive signings potentially for Arsenal. And related to those two signings, I wanted to talk today about Mikel Arteta's obsession with youthful experience. And where that came from for me is something I've always been aware of, but he crystallised it in an interview he did with Marca recently. He sat down with Marca, a Spanish publication, and he was a bit more open with them, as can sometimes be the case when managers return to their home country or speak in their native language. And he said the following, this is a direct quote, at Arsenal, he was asked about Kai Havertz and the impending signing of Kai Havertz as it was at the time, and he said, at Arsenal, we are always interested in young players with experience. And I thought, how interesting is that? Because we always talk about young players with potential, young players with talent. But Mikel Arteta, he likes young players with experience. And that's borne out when you look at his tenure as Arsenal manager and his activity in the transfer market. I went back to the summer of 2021. That was the summer, of course, that we signed Aaron Ramsdale. At that time, Aaron Ramsdale was 23 years old, not long been 23, and he'd already played 75 Premier League games, which for a goalkeeper is very, very unusual. In fact, in Europe, in the top 5 leagues, no goalkeeper aged 23 or under had played more league minutes. I'm looking at the list in front of me now. Gianluigi Donnarumma was second. Unai Simon was third, Alban Lafont fourth. Further down the list, you've got people like Meslier at Leeds. But number one for minutes played at 23 at senior level was Aaron Ramsdale. So he ticked that box immediately of youthful experience. Ben White was another, came in at 23, already had, I think, 82 league games under his belt, full campaigns with Leeds and with Brighton, had played in the top flight consistently. Martin Odegaard, I don't think many players define youthful experience more than him. He made his league debut in Norway aged 13. This is a guy who's been playing men's football by the time he arrived at Arsenal the better part of 10 years. We see it in other players within the squad. William Saliba, a first-team player at 17, has already experienced life at Saint-Etienne, Nice, Marseille, Arsenal. 4 different cultural experiences, 4 different clubs, 4 different systems, 4 different managers. More, probably. And he's barely, 22? So this is clearly something Arteta, A, prizes, and B, wants to give young players. Think of Martinelli and Saka at their age, the amount of first-team minutes they've clocked up, international minutes. Bukayo Saka, has played in 2 major tournaments for England already. Youthful experience. It runs through Arteta's teams. And it runs through his signings this summer. Kai Havertz is over the line. He was just 24 a fortnight ago. He became Leverkusen's youngest ever player, aged 17 and about 100 days, I think. And in 4 years at Leverkusen, going from being a teenager through to being about 21 years old, he played 150 games. This is before the age of 21, in fact. 46 goals, 31 assists. So, he was in that Saka bracket in terms of how much football he was exposed to young, the speed and rate of his development. And while it may have slowed at Chelsea, I think Mikel Arteta is banking that wealth of experience, that education he received through learning, through apprenticeship, is what could provide the grounding for him to reignite his career. Listen, 24 a fortnight ago, he's already won the Champions League, he's won the European Super Cup, he's won the World Club Cup. He has played plenty of games for Germany. He has got elite experience already. You know, we've talked about buying older players who bring in experience, the likes of Jorginho, of winning big things. Havertz has done it too, and he's 24. As for Declan Rice, 24 years old as well. Probably not coincidence. Made his England debut in 2019, 4 years ago. He's played over 200 games for West Ham, won a European trophy with West Ham. You know, this has moved on. When we were signing Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale, we were signing young players with plenty of experience. Sambi would be another. But maybe it'd come lower down the leagues, you know, loan spells, in the Championship, maybe in Ramsdale's case in a relegation battle. Now we're signing players at 24 who have already experienced playing at the highest level of the games. The Champions League, international football, trophy-winning football. Even Jurrien Timber, who we're also anticipating to arrive from Ajax, he's only 22, he's already got 15 Holland caps, I think, has played fairly consistently in the Ajax 11 for 3 seasons now. So, and played Champions League football with them already too. So, 22 years of age, literally a matter of days ago, already elite level experience. So why is Arteta so obsessed with this? Why is this such a recurring theme? That's obviously the question. Well, you buy players with experience. With any kind of experience, you reduce the risk because you know what you're getting. You bring in a 28, 29-year-old, you've seen them acquit themselves at the level you require. That is true of Havertz. That is true of Rice. That is true of Timber. Their experience makes them more known quantities, and that reduces the risk of the purchase. But their age means that they will retain value, probably grow in value, potentially. I mean, we're paying some big fees, so it'd be mighty going if they do, but it's possible, much more so than someone who you sign at 28, 29. You buy players young, it is a better investment. You're getting their prime years of their career, and economically they retain more value. Ramsdale's a great example. People scoffed when Arsenal paid, I think it was 24 plus 6 in potential add-ons. But I forget what they're called, but there's that organisation that kind of generate a value for every footballer in the world. They recently valued Saka, I think, as the third most valuable footballer in the world. And they're not entirely accurate, they're based on many factors, but they put Aaron Ramsdale out as the most valuable goalkeeper in the world. Now, is he the best goalkeeper in the world? I don't even think he thinks he is, but based on his age, his contract situation, his nationality and various other factors, his transfer value, if you were to try and sell him, would be exceptionally high. And his age is a massive, massive part of that, because you'll be buying him as he's going into his peak. So Arsenal have looked to do the impossible, really. They've looked to sign players who are very young, or certainly at the start of their peak, but also come with certain guarantees because of the experience they've already had. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do. They're very difficult players to find. And Arsenal have done it, both in the market and by exposing people like Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe to lots of first-team football at a young age. In moving on Granit Xhaka and potentially Thomas Partey, replacing them with Havertz and Rice, Arsenal are actually getting younger. The youngest team in the league, or the second youngest team in the league, it's neck and neck between Arsenal and Southampton last season, are getting younger in terms of their starting 11. But they'll feel, in terms of quality, they're getting better. And crucially, they'll feel, in terms of experience, they'll still have experience. They're shedding years off the team, but still retaining an awful lot of experience. I think that is the key. I think that is sort of the unicorn for Arteta. I think that's what he's been looking for. Keeping the young identity of the team, protecting the club in the transfer market with youth, but still having a wealth of experience to call upon. And it looks like next season, that's what he's going to have. Hope you found that interesting. I'll keep doing these videos as long as you keep watching them and keep subscribing, to be honest with you. I can't get away from the little dopamine hit. So click that button and I'll keep coming back. All right, guys, speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.